2024. If you would stand with me, please, for the pledge. Carl, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Cyanide and happiness.
Is that what they call this meeting? Okay. First of all, I guess I'd like to open up the floor for any public comment, presentation also this evening. But first of all, I would open the floor to any public comment. If you would wish to address the board, please come to the podium, state your name, and what you have to say.
I just wanted you to pick me, teacher. Good evening, Carl Unrath, Kirby Vacuum. Is this not on?
Touch the little touchpad.
You might have, you're getting picked up on the camera, so it's okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, there is no touchpad.
Sometimes you gotta go like this.
Yes,
There you go.
so I'm here on behalf of the bid. Oh, yes, I'm on now. I'm here on behalf of the bid. We had a very successful jazz festival. Weather was perfect, big crowds, and I just came to thank the village, the workers. They did fantastic. We could not do that event without them. They were tremendous help. And also the lights that you guys, not you, but the village workers left on Main Street and the ones down the alley, it looks so good at night. I get all sorts of people telling me. So please, leave the lights up. They look great. Makes the village look fantastic. And that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your help for the bid events.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you
Carol.
for everything.
Thank you, Elena.
Good night. I'm leaving you alone.
Next.
Yes, the Jazz Festival was, I think, extremely successful and well attended.
Boy, it sure was.
Oh,
And actually, Friday night really wasn't only that. We did lose a little bit in terms of some of the outdoor, but all the venues had their.
Oh, they were,
parade.
yeah.
Okay. I don't see anyone else who wishes to address the board, so at this time I would close that public comment portion of the meeting. And we have this evening a presentation by the bid president, Elena Nardi. And Elena, if you would come on up to the podium. And
She's just gonna come over here because
Sure.
I said presentation as kind of loosely.
Oh, loosely.
We're gonna do
Yes.
it together.
Yeah,
Oh. Team.
yes.
Yes.
So we sort of had a couple discussions with Mayor Byers. And we thought that it would be a really great idea if Karen, with her really great skill set, took over a little bit of the work from the bid in terms of social media and website and things like that. And we did talk to Don last time, I did, and he said legally it's okay. I know it would definitely decrease confusion and put the same messages out, and Karen's already doing the ads anyway, so I asked Elena to come in and she wrote this up, and we went to the results.
She's absolutely right. We can't, the bid really can't function without the village. Everything we do is for the village and to benefit the village. And without your guys at our events, they wouldn't happen. You know, the bid by design really is just, it's a great concept, but we don't have paid staff and all of the people are running their own businesses. It's really hard to get buy-in and to get any kind of consistency, which is really what we need. And so Karen is just amazing at everything she does. So we were hoping that, you know, if she could take on this part, and, you know, we're certainly not intending to dump a ton of work on her, but really just to see if she can help us with this marketing and website update, because, you know, she does it for you guys anyway. It's really the same content.
Then just taking that and posting it to their sites as well, and sending out emails for the bid meetings, and pretty much making ads and any flyers, and that should be the extent of it. We thought sometimes there might not be much work at all, but just random updates in Facebook, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then other times it may be busier. Right now, we're guessing about 1 to 2 hours per week, but I spoke with Karen and I said, you know, take a note of what you think, how many hours you feel you're working, and then we can kind of have a discussion with the board. But we just wanted to make sure it was okay with you, and I don't know if we need something, a resolution, but Don, maybe probably would make sense, but.
Good. I'd be very happy with that.
I would
There,
I agree with that.
she is just so good. I mean, she's even helped out the museum,
Yep.
everything. I mean, she's just wonderful. I mean, I was so excited just to have her come into our village, so yes.
I
Big
agree.
time.
Yeah, well, legally, the bid was established by the village.
Yes.
It is technically part of village government. So
There should be
for
more.
her to do work for the bid, you're really doing work for the village. It's the same thing.
Good.
Yeah.
The estimation of 2
So
hours.
if Karen feels she has enough time to take it on, she's definitely good at that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, she's
Just look
great.
at what she's put out for the village since she's
Yeah.
been
She's very
on
talented.
board.
And since she's not the deputy treasurer, I have taken on that role. I sort of added, and we talked about this when we hired her, I added in social media, took out deputy treasurer. So,
Yep.
but she's also a workhorse. So I have to sometimes, we talk on the weekends constantly about things. So I said, make sure you're being upfront, you know, with me. If you're feeling overwhelmed, then we might need to reassess other things. But at this time, I don't anticipate it being much more work than she's already creating the ads anyway.
Yep.
And sometimes because the bid might not.
You said yes.
Thank you, thank you, Jerry, yes.
Regular working hours, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
May I ask you about the nuts and bolts of this? It says here, assistance with MailChimp and bulk emails, website content. Is there anything that would come back out of those things back to the village? Or will there be, other than setting it up, so that either you could read it, or someone else would be looking at these things and responding to them? I'm not at all interested in the village responding to these,
No.
other than helping in setting it up.
Right, I think Karen's role would be more of the sending it out. All the responses would come back to our info@websterbid.com that we man. Like, we're still gonna man that. It's really just, you know, so many times we'll have an event and the time on the website is different than the time that you guys know, and it's just so
It's
confusing.
been so, yes.
Yeah, so we definitely don't need to overwork her or anything, or, you know, make her take on, being a bid member. It's really just to get the content out there correctly.
And sending out meeting notices, those reminders, those kind of things.
Well,
It's pretty
we
much
need-
everything Lisa was doing.
Right.
We needed that.
She would take that.
So, yes.
We've tried. It's-
I know,
You
I
have
know.
they're all part-time, you know, it's all volunteer, so.
I
And
think
then
it's a great idea.
nothing would change too, we would still be submitting the information to Elena for approval, or Tom, or whatever, so, you know.
Thanks.
I'll still be going to the events, that won't change, this has nothing to do with that, this is just our part kind of increasing.
So, we're estimating like, basically maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
I don't even think it'll take that sometimes, some
Once,
weeks.
once things are set up,
Yeah.
then will you be providing information to her?
Yes.
So that,
In my imagination of how this is gonna work, you know, Karen and I are gonna communicate, you know, for example, this week we have a concert on Friday. I would be send out a reminder, and she's probably gonna say they already did, but, you know, it would be that kind of thing. You know, like, let's look ahead for the next month and see what we should do. You know, like right now, she's working on the census, the village census, which is something the Bidwell really needs to do and get out something to them. So I think a lot of the work is kind of a duplication. Like, you guys do it anyway, we just need it, and we don't have anybody to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a big drain on her, and anytime it is, you just say,
Right.
back off.
Well, and I was doing the census before, but now we at least know, we weren't kind of sure of our role, so we didn't want to overstep. Now that we know that we are gonna be, it's okay for us to be doing these things, it'll just be a little bit more clear.
Now you're becoming like a bad car dealership. Now you're overselling to me.
Jared.
He said yes.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Kyle.
I,
Yeah, needed.
Well, Daryl didn't say yes yet.
I am tentatively now saying yes, and we'll be looking at the time commitment over the next
Yeah.
month, 2 months,
Yeah.
2 months.
6
Certainly have an
months would be
idea by
easier.
the end of the year, and then make, that make the decision at that point, but whether or not we continue or we modify.
She should keep a record of her time, what her month to bid.
Oh, she
That's
will.
fair.
Yeah.
That's more than fair. Absolutely.
I don't see the harm in doing this, I see the benefits of it, because I know you struggle with both, coordinating and, having this take place, so, yeah.
Well, thank
leave
you.
it on.
We promise to be respectful of her time.
It will be a benefit, I believe, to
I don't
both.
think we're worried about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you, Elena.
And the
Thanks,
3 of us already
guys.
said yes. We didn't even need Daryl to say.
Yeah, so we're for it, too bad.
All right, well, thanks again.
I said, however, there will be a little bit of study while.
No, that's
months
good.
Go on.
Good.
So,
Okay,
you know.
dear.
That's good. Data driven, making decisions
Yeah.
by the data. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Elena.
Thank you.
I'm going to the chamber breakfast.
Oh, if you didn't hear us, we said yes.
What was that?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Okay.
There was no concerns.
Forgot about that. We had it then.
I can, oh, the red one?
You're welcome.
That's Al's.
I forgot.
He dropped it off over there.
It is blue.
Well, then we'll take a look at that. And I have no objection
No.
to having Karen do some of that. Doing a great job for us.
Yep,
Um,
I'm very happy we have her.
So we'll keep track. Okay, we will move then to regular board business, and the first item we have is the approval of minutes from August 8th, 2024. Not very long.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Lancy,
Aye.
trustee Alito,
Aye.
Mayor Byers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, we have the resolution to approve the claims and warrants. I had an opportunity to go through them today, and I did not find anything that would be somewhat ordinary.
All I wanted to ask, and he's not here, but on Ultra Rental and Supply, what is a web sling and a flat eye?
You see my trouble when I was trying to determine the Lowe's bill. No idea. You want me to ask him?
What was that, a red sling?
We'll send you an email. Is that okay?
The red sling comes first, then the flat eye is
A
followed.
no dear. And strap recovered HD, I had just no idea what any of that meant.
We'll get you answers
That
for
it
that.
was a rental.
Okay.
So,
I'm on a heavy duty bolt gun.
essential.
No, that was all right. It is what it is.
The LMK Technology Solutions is 2,300 essentially.
Yeah.
Is that unusual or that what it's,
That's what it is, but I will have something soon for you, because it's about to skyrocket and we just can't afford it anymore, and I don't want to work with them. So they're great, but they just don't have municipalities, so anyway, we're bringing that up. I've sent the contract over to Don for integrated systems. Again, sorry. But we're a little worried, they want us to replace every single computer,
yes,
pay $10,000 to switch to the Microsoft cloud, even though we chose to go with their cloud as they recommended.
So what's the reasoning for,
Well, they said that this new system cannot tolerate Windows 10, whatever the most recent one is. So when we're on a schedule, we're always replacing computers as needed. It will cost us $10,000 to switch to the
no, see,
Microsoft
that
cloud.
is just, the world is.
well, I would say continue to investigate, and I saw, Don, you had a question, and you have that
Yes.
question answered.
And I'm getting more information from Smith about that presently.
Okay, you are getting,
Which had to do with coverage more than what they were talking. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. The $250.
Yeah, if they're negligent and somehow the whole computer system for the village crashes, or you have some kind of data breach and it's their fault because they forgot to do something,
Yeah.
they owe you $250, that's it.
Yeah, you're stuck.
So that's kind of
Concerning.
but their solution is go out and get your own insurance to cover that kind of stuff. Well, okay.
Which we do have it, but I need to know how much, but we're actually in the process of
Oh, did you?
waiting for renewals with Smith right now.
I would agree that that should be something else looked into.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Aye, aye.
I can see making a change.
Their shtick is just not municipalities now. They have big companies, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I have a motion to approve claims and warrants.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Trustee Lancy?
Aye.
Trustee Abolito?
Aye.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Mayor Byers?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next is a resolution to authorize the mayor to sign a proposal or agreement with CNE Associates for the wastewater treatment plant.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody have questions on that?
I'm hoping I worded that properly. Basically, the EFC would not reimburse us for this amount until this contract is signed. And you all already approved the bill at the last meeting,
Yeah.
but the EFC decided we don't pay them until we get reimbursed from the EFC. So they denied that one pending this agreement.
Well, anyways, there is a resolution on the floor authorizing itself to sign the proposal.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Trustee Abolito?
Aye.
Was that a yes, sir? Trustee Lancy? Trustee Lauer?
Yes.
Mayor Byers?
Yes,
Motion passes. God, I love those direct answers.
they are moving forward with the sewer project, wastewater treatment plant, and I see I didn't have the opportunity to sit on their bi-weekly meeting this morning, and listen, have nothing to say.
But it's
With
still,
all the technical stuff, but they are moving forward, and I did hear a lot about 2025, even January 2026. So I'm hoping that it will be that. Some of the things that are happening will obviously carry into next year and be finished at the end. So, moving along. Okay, and last we have a resolution to authorize the release of number 2 to Greenbrier Crossing letter of credit in the amount of $272,950.14. So we're looking to authorize the clerk to notify our bank of this release.
yeah.
Make sure you do that.
See all of the things that are included in this total amounts up to date. They are moving along. There is a lot left to do. You see a lot of zeros there, but they are moving.
Yes, Jake asked me to
Had
put
the
it on
oppor-
there, he said it was all good.
I had the opportunity to drive through the development
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. So it's moving along. So there's a resolution to have authorize the release of this amount of money.
I'll make that.
I'll second.
Trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Lancy,
Aye.
trustee Alito, Mayor Byers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. At this time, we have just a public notification that a serial bond interest and principal payment for the bond obtained in 2012 will be made in the amount of $63,443.75 on or about September 12, 2024. I guess little by little moving towards the serial bonds being paid off. All right.
Nice.
At this point, Don, do you have anything for us?
Well, Jake, myself, and Chris, we kind of been struggling with, there's a section that, part of the zoning code, 17540, which is the site plan review, which was the new part that we put in, 2 years ago or something like that. And it came up with 60 Barrett Drive. You know, the upper floor is being remodeled for a daycare center. There's already a sign, a temporary kind of sign
Yes.
on the building. And the issue is whether they need to come in to the zoning board for site plan review. And the Chris and Jake told them yes they do, based on the language of the statute. I had a conversation with their attorney, and he sent me this email that I just got at 6 o'clock today. And it's, tell me what you think. So the statute says, prior to issuing a building permit for the construction of a building or for the alteration of a building, if the area of any floor would be increased 25% thereby, or where 2 or more parcels of land are to be combined into one parcel, and really the confusion or the ambiguity is over that and. And then it says, and prior to the issuance of a zoning permit or certificate of occupancy for a change of use or occupancy of land or a building, the building inspector shall refer the site plans of the parcel to the zoning board of appeals for its review and approval. So it's the second part, that and. The 60 Barrett Drive's owner and his attorney argued that it doesn't say or prior to the issuance of the zoning permit, it says and. And so he said his reading is that and should be like and in conjunction with prior to the issue. So in other words, that there has to be the construction of a building or the alteration of a building included before it goes to the ZBA for site plan review. Because like in at 60 Bear Drive, they're not doing anything to the exterior, the building's not changing.
I read that, how I interpret that is they do not need to come here.
The same thing is gonna come up, because the same person bought, Nest Things.
Yes, they did,
And-
yes,
and-
yes,
and-
yes.
And actually, there's a Emerald Financial that was in the second floor of
Yep.
60 Barrett Drive,
Yep.
is planning to move down there. So
Yeah.
they're gonna do work inside that building, not do anything to the outside.
They just get their
Exactly.
But
required
it
permits.
is a change of use, you know, it's going from a retail use
Yeah,
to an office use. Do they have to come in for site plan review?
No, they fill out the application, they play the permit, they get their inspections, and that's not the site.
Because otherwise the interpretation is that every time a
yeah,
C of O needs to be issued, except for 1 and 2 family houses, it's gotta go to the zoning board.
I'll tell you, anywhere we do that, because we're tenants and we're landlords, I never have to do that.
Well, if you look at.
In interior
and
work,
if you look at the next parts of this, of the site plan review law, it's got everything that has to be submitted to the zoning board, and it's all the stuff that wouldn't even apply if it's just a single building.
I don't think,
So what happens, my question would be in terms of use, because it would be a change of use. If, well, we already have it, the music store is changing to a pizza place. That's a change of use in the building. I don't care what they're doing inside, but it's a change of use. Do they have,
You know,
and change of use at every time doesn't mean going from a pizza to an ice cream to a, sometimes change of use is retail,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's-
commercial, so it's not every, they don't
But this-
go, you
but-
sell burgers and now you're going to hot
well,
dogs.
it's a retail.
But I think going from a music store to a pizza parlor is a change of use.
I would agree with this
I agree.
one.
So, and in fact, and Jake, you know, Jake's busy, so
It's a restaurant.
he hasn't responded, but a week ago or so, in talking about this, I asked him the same thing. Did that have to go, to my knowledge, that didn't go in front of the zoning board. I don't know if they're doing any work over there yet, or if they've applied for a building permit.
where,
The pizza.
Yeah, they're doing.
if there's stuff.
Well, so
They already
I
did.
said, at
Yeah.
least you gotta be consistent, you know, treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So why are you making this guy come in for site plan review
If you're
if
not,
if the
Yeah.
pizza place didn't have to come in? I mean, what's the difference?
The one you did have come in is actually doing more work,
mm,
and the change of use is really different.
very, very.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound like a process that makes sense for me. They're not, if they were gonna add on to that building at Barrett, you know.
No, the only thing, it's a daycare, so there will be a little fenced-in playground area.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you get your permit for the fence and build it.
But otherwise, it's,
No.
and then, well, the other thing with that is they may need a special permit use, because in every district, a nursery school, and this is another weird thing with the zoning code for the nursery school is not defined. Daycare center is defined. And the way, in the code, daycare centers are only allowed in the neighborhood business district. They're not allowed anywhere else as a permitted use. However, a nursery school is allowed in every district, subject to getting a special use permit, which doesn't make much sense to me. You think if they allow nursery schools, they should, you know, daycare centers are basically the same thing. They should allow that. So, based on that logic, I think they were told they gotta go to the zoning board for the special use permit. But that's because, you know, anyone would, unless they're, because they're not in the neighborhood business district. So it's not a permitted
Yeah.
use. Except for a special use permit. But that's something in the future, you know, this board may want to consider amending the zoning code to allow daycare centers in other places other than neighborhood business district.
there a difference in definition of daycare center versus nursery?
Well, it's not defined in our
It's not.
code. Nursery
No.
school isn't defined in the code. Daycare center is defined and it refers to the state education law about it. I don't know if in the state education law, there's a definition of a nursery school. You don't see the term nursery school used that often anymore. It's all daycare centers have pre-K programs built into them. You know, I think if you just Google nursery school for the definition, it'll come back as some kind of structured program for toddlers.
Or through a church.
No, forget a church, it doesn't
No,
matter
I
about
just
church.
think that's where other ones are. That's the only ones I've seen.
Well, that's,
No, we've got,
so, I don't know. But I will pass on, you know, my inclination is that the and is an and, it's not an or. So,
yeah,
you only have to do the site plan review to the zoning board if it's in conjunction with the alteration or construction of a building.
I agree.
that makes sense. It just makes sense.
Well, if you just look, again, site plan isn't defined either, but if you just look up the def of a site plan is usually, you know, a whole plot of land, a parcel of land, it shows the building on it, it shows parking, it shows, you know, all sorts of stuff. You know, and so what kind of site plan are you gonna get for the old Jayden, whatever bank building over there?
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, you know, it's been the same for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, gee, we have to
You
say,
can't have to do
Yeah.
there, it means
I hope
also-
they keep the same.
There's a
same
million
school.
daycares and houses
well, I
throughout
thought they were
Webster, so
not the same.
they would never go to you
They
anyway.
have a picture meeting and.
They go get licensed.
I hope they
Yeah.
keep the same so
Are
that-
they continuing upstairs the same, or are they going to have changes
It's just
in
kind of
the two
Oh, it's cool, that's a cool.
But I
residences
used to go to
versus
them,
the one?
it's a whole lot.
They had to do a
You know
complete
if they're
remodel.
going to change upstairs?
And I took out the little red thing.
You're gonna, they're keeping the same, they're gonna, I thought, construct two apartments rather than one. But they're going to have apartments upstairs, or is
Yes.
the whole building going to
Yeah, no, they were gonna have apartments, is what I was,
change the one back to a two?
well, they talked about two, I don't know whether they're gonna do that right away, but that was, yeah, that was still gonna be like housing. But Dale and I
I don't
had,
know. Jake would know the answer to that, I don't know that.
There's only one apartment up there.
well, right now, yeah, that's all Gail, that's all we want. But then she and I made a little, tea area in the back. We asked the
Kitchen.
two buildings that were there, if you could set up some tables and stuff.
A lot of that.
I think we beat this one to death.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pass,
Yeah.
I'll pass on your collective wisdom.
I like that guy.
God bless you.
And that ought to be something to probably look at in the code, after rewriting.
Or no, just read the code, just like Don read it, makes sense. And
Yeah,
Well, and we could just change it to say the and in conjunction therewith prior to the
Yes.
issuance, then it's clear.
more,
that-
more.
where's the
Let's
book?
go.
Freaking pencil.
Do it.
Does that need a?
But,
Do something.
Nah, I'll just initial it. I'll
but
just
then we
initial
should,
it.
then we could do it in conjunction with changing the daycare breakfast too, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because who knows, there could be in-home daycare throughout the village and you know.
There it is.
There is.
There it
I'm
is.
sure there is, and they gotta be,
There is.
they're permitted by the, but technically they're not allowed
Yeah.
They're all
without
over.
getting this special permit use.
That's typical. Is that common?
No, we gotta change it. All right, moving on, Heather.
Got it, I got nothing.
Okay?
Jake? Oh, hey.
Oh, you know what this is? This is the last board meeting. My code enforcement officer was supposed to give a report.
Well, not yet, Jake's still, he will be coming soon.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Yeah, Yeah,
don't even know who you hired?
Introduced,
You
yeah.
voted for him.
I forgot. And or.
Steve Martin.
Chris Talon,
Yes, it's
Oh.
close.
But Chris with a K.
yes.
Yeah,
Christopher, KristopherTallon. Talon.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
He'll be walking around the village tomorrow closing all the daycares down.
They're all over.
I know that.
sounds like he's, though, from what I hear, he sounds like he's doing good.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yeah,
talked to
I-
them.
Yes,
I'm trying to catch up.
yeah. He knows what he's doing, which is great.
Yeah.
He's spending a lot of time cleaning up prior messes.
My gosh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know how bad. We really didn't know how bad.
Okay, before our next meeting, actually, on September 10th, which is our next meeting, on that Wednesday prior to our meeting, it is September 11th.
Yes.
And there will be a ceremony again this year down at Veterans Park, and that will begin at 6 o'clock. So I encourage you to come out and remember that date, September 11th. Okay, anyone else? Not? I'll ask for a motion to adjourn,
I will accept that motion.
I'll make that motion.
and I'll second it.
You guys are.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting closed. Thank you for watching.